welcome back to Phenomena, episode 4 of season 3. I'm your host, Mimi Dibs. Nailed it. I always forget to mention I'm your host, Mimi Dibs, but I am. So there you have it. Finally came out and said it. Today we're going to be talking about the long-awaited episode on sleep paralysis. We're going to be talking about the episode? Wait, no. We're going to be doing an episode talking about sleep paralysis. This is a good one. It's very broad, clearly. And it was guest written by our lovely, amazing guest writer and fan of the pod, Angel. Yay, Angel. Thank you so much. Thank you, first of all, for taking on a topic as broad and kind of all-encompassing in a way as sleep paralysis, because I feel like the broader they are, the harder they are to like pinpoint where they started, like what was the first ever recorded instance of sleep paralysis, you know what I mean? So that'll be really interesting to get into. Because clearly, as you saw from episodes 1 and 2, we're an educational show now. No, I'm kidding. But also, before we get into the episode, let's get into the Phenomannouncements for this week. Angel actually included a Phenomannouncement. I can't talk, words are hard. Phenomannouncement that she wanted to share. So I'm super excited to shout out Angel's Phenomannouncement. Okay, local business shout out provided by Angel. Shadowcraft is a metaphysical store. I'm obsessed with this already because for last week's episode, I chose something similar. So I love this so much. Metaphysical store that is run by a very dear friend of mine from college, Brooke Hamilton. Brooke, you go girl. You go Glen Coco. You have your own metaphysical store? You're thriving miles above the rest of us, I'll tell you that. She has an excellent collection of spiritual objects, stones, and crystals, and nearly anything your witchy heart needs. I love this. The quality of her items is top-notch, and she buys ethically from trusted sources. I go to her when I need a haul of metaphysical items. I did a bulk buy in 2020 and recently this year, and all items remain beautiful and bring me luck and work well with my spiritual needs. I love this. That's so cute. I feel like people that are more connected and in tune to their like spirituality and metaphysical kind of existence, like I feel like Brooke knew she wanted to like open up a shop. It like was written in the cards for her. She was like, this is gonna sound so stupid, but that's almost how I feel about doing Phenomena. Is like it's such a path of least resistance, or it feels like that so far, which I'm very, very lucky and blessed to be able to say, because it just feels like I'm not trying as hard as when I was trying to like work in corporate America. You know what I mean? So I feel like with Brooke, like she went out there and did the damn thing and started her own store. That's amazing. I love this so much for her. At the very least, they are exquisite pieces that I am so glad to have in my home. Oh, I love it. Yeah, I love tchotchkes and trinkets. I was gonna say Triscuits. I like Triscuits too. I feel like if you ascribe a meaning to a little trinket, then it takes on that energy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if people are like, oh, whatever, like you really think that thing is imbued with energy, like it is or it isn't, but I'm going to choose to believe it is. And when I choose to believe it is, it brings me happiness and joy and good things happen around me. So what's it to you? Who cares? I'm not asking you to feel the energy from this. I'm not asking you to bring this tchotchke or whatever into your home and ascribe it anything. Anyway, sorry, we're getting carried away. Brooke is a saint. I was like, she's a saint too? No, I think it meant like she's a saint. She's amazing. I was like, Brooke be doing so many things. She's a metaphysical store owner and a saint. She's a saint in South Dakota who's always been a light of positivity and acceptance. I am thankful for the opportunity to give her store a shout out. Thank you, Mimi. Yay, no problem, Angel. I love this. We will add her Instagram and store URL in the description / show notes. So take a look at those if you want to check out her store. I will certainly be giving her a follow because her store sounds very cool. Very super cool. My Polish is really coming out. All right, without further ado, if you can see my script in the corner, no, you can't. Let's get into sleep paralysis, demons to aliens, and the fear in between. Oh, yeah. Oh, right. I should have also mentioned this. I feel like this is going to be a spookier episode, obviously, because sleep paralysis and like demons, you know, so you don't like that stuff. That's really cool. Go watch like Fairy Circles and Aurora Borealis. That one's not scary. So we have something for everyone. Okay. But anyway, if you do fuck with the spooky, then buckle on in because we getting spooked If you ain't getting spooked, then what is you doing? I came up with that when I went to a haunted house in like 2019, and I said it to John. I think I sent it to him in like a Snapchat, and he still says it to this day. And I love it. I think it's honestly one of the best songs I've ever written. If you ain't getting spooked, then what is you doing? That's it. That's the whole song. Anyway, most of us are old enough to have put the monster under the bed, or the creature in the closet, or the shadow in the corner of the room aside. They're part of just our past now, just like imaginary friends. But what happens if they stay with you? If every night for years into your adult life, you still have a monster looming over you in the middle of the night, immobilized by fear and with the unknown staring down at you, what answers do we have for the lurking unknown that haunts us well into our adult lives? That's a good point. Like that, like fight or flight, or that like fear that makes you like your palms sweat and like you clammy. I feel like I remember that fear so vividly from a kid, and I'm thankful to not have experienced that fear very often, but I can't imagine having sleep paralysis. So I experience it like every night or every couple nights. Imagine a state where your mind wakes up, but your body can't move, often accompanied by terrifying hallucinations. Sometimes it becomes chronic. For others, it comes and goes, interspersed throughout life or tied to a period of time. Some experience it only once and then never again. Whoa. I wonder what causes it. What's worse, even if you haven't experienced this phenomenon, you still could one day. Ooh, wait, what? I wonder what the difference is between this and night terrors, because I used to babysit, and this one little girl I babysat had night terrors, and that was really scary. Like, the mom was like, by the way, she could like have a night terror, and then she did, and I was like, oh my God, what do I do? Like, because you have to be like very careful, and yeah, whoa, interesting. I can't wait to learn more. And Angel included some photos throughout, so I'll be including those on the screen. But yeah, it's like, I can see it's already kind of Victorian vibes. It's giving Victorian vibes. Now, let's get into the lore. This phenomenon is also known as sleep paralysis. Let's discuss its history, its present, and perhaps even its future, should you one day have this happen to you. Ooh, no, thank you. I rebuke this energy. I don't want it. No, thank you. What you can do to prevent it, what to do during it, and what to expect after this horrific yet knowable experience. In truth, it's hard to track the origins of sleep paralysis at one point. Yeah, I figured, because like, I guess they could have happened to people before they started writing stuff down in history, like that were preserved throughout history, but interesting. A quick Google AI overview mentions documentation as early as the 10th century in Persian medical literature, as well as in Greek and Chinese texts. Mares, jinn, incubi, succubi, lilitu, the night hag, batty bat, shadow people, and aliens. These are just some of the monsters said to exist between the waking world and dreaming, and many have continued to terrorize people into modern times. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, they're timeless. And so is sleep paralysis, and the sleep paralysis demon that I'm sure we'll learn more about. The mare, an old European spirit said to ride on your chest. Oh, this is the one that I think I've definitely seen in like photos or like ancient paintings, not ancient, like Victorian time paintings. Said to ride on your chest, and many other entities are said to sit on your chest and make breathing harder. Yeah, that's also what I've heard is when you are having sleep paralysis, you like, it's that tightness in your chest, which obviously like, some people experience when they're having like a panic attack, which is totally understandable to have when you can't move your body. That's like one of my biggest fears is like going under for a medical procedure, but then feeling everything, but not being able to move your... I pray that never happens to me because I can't even imagine. But I would feel like that's similar to that, where you just like lose control, and then that, I think... But it makes sense for us to be like, oh my God, my chest is getting tighter, something must be on it. As someone who has experienced this myself, oh no, Angel, I'm sorry. It is a terrifying experience. You wake up not knowing what time it is, only that it's the middle of the night. You know you're not alone, and worse, you can see something in the room with you. Oh my God, I literally just got chills. Sometimes you even hear it. It's a visceral and disturbing experience. Oh my God. What? Tell me why when you said you can even hear it, I heard like snarling. Sleep paralysis is a universal phenomenon that can really shape how you see the world. The monsters we believe in don't just live in stories. They come and visit us in the night. Between 20 and 30% of people have experienced something like this. Yeah, I feel like I'm almost like for the fact that I haven't experienced it is weird, because I feel like I do know a lot of people that have experienced it at least once. I just can't really think of a time where I have. And I really hope I don't. Again, I rebuke the synergy. I don't want it. No, thank you. The monsters that come are often specific to the culture and regions in which they appear. Ooh, oh my God. And then Angel added this adorable little photo. I love her. She looks like a little elf or like a fairy. I love her so much. The batty bat in Filipino culture is a hefty she-demon who lives in trees.
Slay.
Are you kidding? I want to be her. She's amazing. She-demon who lives in trees? I love her. When those trees are cut down, she's said to follow in spirit form and find the person responsible. Go off, Diva. Yes, retribution. We love it. If they use the tree to build their house, that is considered even more blasphemous. Oh no, why? It's like you're repurposing. I don't know. I'm not about to get on her bad side, so whatever you say, I agree. A batty bat forbids people from sleeping near her former home. She is said to sit on the chest of her victims, and even the biggest, burliest man will be suffocated by her weight. Truly a plus-size queen. We love it. Okay, so the next photo we have is of this like pharaoh-looking woman. Lilith, Lilitu, succubi, and incubi are all from Mesopotamia. That's for, I like doing Missy's voice for Big Mouth. So, and I think at some point she goes, hey, Andrew, do you want to go to the Mesopotamia dance with me? Something along those lines. Anyway, Mesopotamia and the Fertile Crescent civilizations. They are different beings said to visit people in their sleep. Some force sex on their victims. No. Oh no. I think that's where the incubi comes from, right? I've heard that before. Lilith, a demon believed to haunt sleepers, is said to have birthed these beings, along with many other demons whose purpose is to torment the children of Adam and Eve. Okay. Now we're getting into like religious text. That's interesting. I love Lilith personally. I think as far as I know the lore of Lilith, and I think if we're talking about the same Lilith, it's the one that was sent to be Adam's woman, whatever, counterpart at first, but she was like, hey, we should like totally split the work and like be equals. And he was like, ew, next. And then they sent him Eve, and Eve was like, I'll do whatever you say. And he was like, that's more like it, even though Mother Nature, Mother Earth, literally all life comes from women. But sure, I could get into a whole thing there. But anyway, I like Lilith, but I also, I understand that maybe she just birthed a bunch of sleep paralysis demons and don't want us to have one solid minute of peace, which honestly checks out with what's going on in the world, because I have known peace since like 2019. Let's be real. Succubi are female demons, often described as incredibly beautiful, who have sex with the men during the night to steal their semen and maybe even their lives. Incubi are male demons, succubi and incubi, who torment women in their sleep, have sex with them, and are sometimes said to leave their demonic offspring behind. Oh no. Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. I feel like in a lot of like haunting experiences or like situations where people say that their house is haunted, it almost like a lot of the times in the ones I've heard, it escalates to like them being like, yeah, and then I was like forcefully made to like have sex with this demon or like ghost or whatever, or what is it? Paranormal entity. God, what's the word I'm looking for? It'll come back to me. Poltergeist. It did come to me. Yes, poltergeist. Nice. I am on one this week. Ooh, scary photo. That's a jump scare. As cultures evolve, so do the monsters that haunt us. In recent decades, alien abduction stories have become the modern, and in my opinion, the most horrific cultural demon that now visits us in the night. Why in the night? And Angel, I remember you telling me about how aliens are like really scary. I'm sorry. I hope Francois isn't scared. I don't know why I've named him Francois. He gives me Francois vibes, and I'm not sure why, but I'm sorry. I hope he's a nice one. He's just peeking through. He's like, I support the queer community. We love him. Ally! Aliens, also known as the Grey, are said to stand over their victims as a giant shadow in the dark, watching them, studying them. Back to that photo. Many report the same sensations of being frozen, waking up in fear, and feeling a heaviness on their chest. Are extraterrestrials visiting us in the night to observe how we react? Are these cases of UFO and UAP abductions actually happening to people across America and the world? Or is it our subconscious holding on to something horrifying from our media that returns at the worst possible time? The fact remains, this phenomenon continues to this day and adapts to the culture. Astute observation. Yeah, that's a good point. Because I was almost wondering if you were going to go down the rabbit hole, so to speak, of like people get abducted and then when they get dropped off, they get their like minds wiped or whatever. But with how people say that they experience sleep paralysis. It could just be them like taunting us and watching. Oh, I hate that. That's like even creepier than actually doing something, because it's like, are you gonna, it's that constant like, what do you want? What are you doing? Like what can I do to make you go away? Because it's almost like, hey, if they abduct me and they do whatever in their studies and whatnot, and then they wipe their memory and then they never come back, then it's like, okay, well, at least I did what, at least you're gone. I don't know. But I guess I can't, I'm not one to talk because I've never experienced it. So anyway, let's get into the theories. Number 1, it's all real and demons and aliens are just like messing with people while they're sleeping. I like that. That's the whole theory. It's just everything we've said up to this point is absolutely true and correct, and all of the above is happening. So I like that. I mean, yeah, we got to keep an open mind. I don't know. This could all be a simulation. No, I'm kidding. But yeah. Number 2, or it's a glitch in REM sleep. Ooh, okay. Women in STEM, we love it. The modern theory and scientific study of these experiences suggests that sleep paralysis is a natural, though terrifying, occurrence. Our bodies produce chemicals to keep us from thrashing around while we dream, but sometimes a wire misfires and we wake up while still partially dreaming. Yeah. I've heard this being like the explanation, the most official explanation. The result is fear and confusion stacked on top of physical paralysis, easily one of the most frightening things a person can experience. Yeah, it's that like total lack of control. But that makes sense, right? Because it's like, back to Lexi's phenomena story. Like, you want that chemical to paralyze the people that are experiencing crazy stuff in their dreams. Otherwise, they end up doing it in person and then like almost choking you. Lexi, I'm glad you're okay, because that's terrifying. Go watch that episode if you want to hear about her horrible story of how she almost got suffocated by this guy. It isn't helped by the fact that there's actually a term for dying this way. If the fear becomes too much, it can trigger something called SUNS, sudden unexplained nocturnal death syndrome. Great, add that to my fears, my never-ending list of fears. Huh? What? Which is tied to sudden cardiac death, SCD. Oh, I wonder if this like, what if you're like when you're older and like your heart isn't strong? And you know how like people are like, oh, you're going to make me, like my mom's always like, my heart can't take it if you get another tattoo. And I'm like, okay, there's people dying in Gaza right now. So let's tone it down a notch, will we? Please. Like, that's really, but she always says like, my heart can't take it. Like, and I do wonder if like people, when they get older, it's like, something just like this frightening can really put a heart over the edge. That's so sad and a horrible thing to experience right before you die. Oh my gosh. It's rare, but real. People with PTSD, hallucinations, anxiety, or other sleep disorders are more likely to experience sleep paralysis. Oh, I wonder if this happens to people with PTSD from like the wars, any war that they've gone to. Oof, that's tough. There's not much in the way of a cure, but experts often recommend improving your sleep hygiene, getting enough rest, avoiding screens before bed, and managing your mental health. Therapy, stress reduction, and even generic factors may play a role. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, because, I mean, obviously, sleep hygiene is very important. But also, like, I have, I grind my teeth at night, like, really, really bad. And I have, like, degenerative arthritis on both TMJ joints, which is so fun. It's great. I love it. But I have to take like a muscle relaxant at night so that I don't, completely like wear out my bone. Just take care of yourself. Make sure you get good sleep. Sleep's important. Very important. During an episode, the best thing you can do is stay calm. Try to move something small, your fingers, a toe, and focus on good thoughts or memories. It won't last forever. The best way is through. Oh, that's a great point, Angel. Thank you. That also reminds me of like when when you're like Shavasana for yoga and then like you're told to like just let everything go. But then when you're coming back to, the instructors usually like move your fingers, move your toes. So that's like a good thing to get in the practice of like waking your body up slowly. And I've definitely also heard people that have experienced sleep paralysis say that like it's usually like once they can move like their fingertips and then eventually a little more of their hands, and it just starts small, and then that's usually a good way to break out of it, which, nice. That's really good advice, Angel. Thank you. Awesome. So from the dawn of sleep until today, monsters have haunted us in the night, in the dark corners of our rooms. There isn't much we can do to stop this phenomenon from happening, but deaths from it are rare and avoidable. When faced with fear, stay calm and focus on the good in life. Yay, I love this. Are you a motivational speaker, Joe? Or I also don't know. Angel, you both have the J sound in your names. You must be a motivational speaker, Angel. I love it. One potential way to help reduce episodes is by improving your sleep environment, getting quality rest in a comfortable, peaceful space. I love that. But even if you can't get away, just remember to relax, breathe, and know that the dawn will come before you know it. And I say that from experience with this phenomenon. Whoa. Wow. That also reminds me of Ben and how he stayed in like the bathroom or whatever until like the sun came up. That's crazy, Ben. You just like chilled in the bathroom and like wailed. I mean, I guess at that point you like, it's hard to just go back to bed, right? Once the dawn comes up, once the sun comes up, I feel like it's usually the world wakes up and you're bound to. So that's a good thing to know that it'll end at some point. You know, the night can't go on forever. Cool. That was a good episode. Sad, because I'm sad that people experience this because it sounds horrifying. But also I do understand the scientific reasoning for why your brain might want a mechanism to shut your actions off so that you're not performing what you're dreaming about in your sleep in real life. Jesus, sorry. Getting really passionate about it. That was a good episode. Very educational as well. I learned a lot. And I learned a lot about like the history and what they used to think it was potentially. All right. For this week's Pokepic, the Pokepic for this week's episode is Darkrai, the pitch black Pokemon. Ooh, I caught this one on raid day on Pogo. On a moonless night, a strange incident occurred in which every one of a village's inhabitants suffered nightmares. The villagers attested that Darkrai appeared before them in these nightmares. Is that in the Pokedex entry? I swear, if you take, that's why I love reading the Pokedex entries, because if you go into like the lore of any Pokemon, especially the ghost ones, like some of them are really morbid. And you're like, wow, this is a kid, this is a kid's like show? Like what? Or, you know, product? I don't know. Because Darkrai is pretty terrifying looking, and I could definitely see him appearing in nightmares. Yep. And no, thank you. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna hard pass. Thank you. I'm good. Cool. If you have ever experienced sleep paralysis and want to let us know how that was and how you broke out of it, and if you have any other suggestions for other people on how to deal with it and how to potentially improve your sleep, if possible, feel free to email us at phenomena.cases@gmail.com. You could also email us with literally anything else. You can comment, you can like, you can subscribe. I haven't said that in a while. That's probably bad. I feel like it should go without saying, you know, comment, like, engage with the stuff if you like it. Because I love engaging back. So if you comment, the likelihood of me replying is like 110%. So do it. We also have, speaking of ways to communicate, we have a Patreon, free tier, $2 tier, and a $5 tier. And with the free tier, you get access to our Discord. It is pinned at the top of the Patreon. Come hang on Discord. We talk about the Pokepics and the lore behind the Pokepics. And I post my favorite GIF on there. And then I also post it on Patreon. And we're cooking up some other fun extras to post on the Patreon. So it'll be a fun time. Check it out. Do it. And lastly, check out our merch if you so desire. We have some dope-ass hoodies. It literally says on the site, dope-ass hoodies, that show your support and keep the curiosity going. Visit phenomenalmerch.myshopify.com to grab yours. Yay! We have new episodes every Wednesday at 6 p.m. PST. And next time on Phenomena, we're going to be talking about the hot pink lake. I love it. I feel like this is Chapel Roan's favorite lake. It's got to be. The Hot Pink Lake. Hello. This sounds incredible. I'm so excited. I think it's Lake Hillier. The Hot Pink Lake. Oh, I love it. Oh, I can't wait. That's also so weird. It feels like not natural, but it is. I'm excited to learn. That's kind of more of a natural. Okay, I really did go heavy on the natural phenomena this season. But it's fine. I love education. I love learning. So tune in for next week's episode about the Hot Pink Lake. And remember, you can always explore the rabbit hole without falling all the way down. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you next week. Bye.